So, let's head on over. And what I think I was saying before was, yeah, we've done so many side quests now that I think we can probably go on the main quest for a little while before we switch back over. And we did, I mean, we don't have much that's a good fit for us level-wise. We're kind of close to reaching level 17, in which case might start to become possible for us to consider doing things like, what's the next lowest? Is it 23, Fist of Novigrad? It might be. Or the other quests that are lower level are out of this area, which is why we haven't done them yet. Basically, we want to get to the point where we can do level 23 and 24 quests. And you guys were saying that we theoretically should be able to unlock more quests, or have more quests become available to us when we do more of the main quests. That kind of happens. So I think we'll go a little bit longer on the main quest and see where that takes us, and then from there we'll see if it makes sense to go even further still, or if we go to alternating between main quest, side quests. But it does feel like we're making some good progress here. This door's locked, okay. Perhaps the main door? Here? Oh, I recognize that name. There's another friend we haven't seen for the entirety of Chapter 3? Or Witcher 3, I don't think.
Next time I'll rip your fucking legs off and shove them up your ass till you've toes for teeth.
Oh, a loot. Would seem to be evidence that Dandelion might be close by.
In the nick of time, as always.
Zoltan, with your boot to someone's ass, as always. Who were those men?
Local colour. I wasn't gone more than a moment. Long enough for them to turn our home into theirs.
Oh. Hello?
All right, time for some spring cleaning. I've got to boot them all out. Care to join me?
Sure.
With pleasure.
Indeed. Is this the fisticuffs kind of engagement? It does seem as though that is likely the case. Shouldn't be much of an issue here. Zoltan, oh, excuse me. I was gonna say, Zoltan, can you take that other guy and we'll take this guy here, but can we also, like, oh, we're not allowed to use Witcher signs, we can't cheat. Okay, if you insist. This is not a great place to be standing right now. You know, like, also can't see a thing, which is also not ideal. Yeah, so, like, basically just keep on punching. That guy may or may not have run away.
Never left Bergen.
Please, that went well. Now we can treat each other like the gods ordained. Ages, pal.
Hey, Zoltan. You look good.
Training plenty lately. What with the war on, no Mahakaman meat to be found, but Redanian lagers standing in just fine. You, though, you've withered a bit. Something worrying you?
I guess you could say that.
Got some problems. Rather not burden you.
Fuck off, Geralt. Need to spill your guts to me now.
Okay, so talking about people who we trust with sensitive information, people we don't trust with sensitive information, Zoltan is definitely fine. So for those of you who, again, have not seen or played The Witcher 1 or 2, Zoltan goes back, actually all the way back to Witcher 1, and has been a close friend of Geralt's, so he is someone who we have done a lot with in the past, especially in The Witcher 2, so he's definitely someone that I feel much more comfortable sharing information about Ciri with, rather than this Corinne person who we just happen to meet and don't really have any sort of relationship with or good sense as to how trustworthy she is. Zoltan's a good guy, though.
I'm looking for Ciri. I know she came to Novigrad. Might still be here.
You mean she's come back? I'll be damned. I wonder if I'd recognize her. How many years is it now? 6, 7? But what'd she be doing here?
Hiding, probably. She might be in danger.
See her in your dreams?
Couple times. Her and the Wild Hunt.
Oh, not good.
Yeah, exactly.
Not at all, but I know she came here and contacted Dandelion.
We've a wee problem then.
Uh-oh. What happened to Dandelion? Oh, we could talk about other things as well?
There's a few things.
I just, you know, catch up a bit.
Triss? Yennefer, perchance?
How'd you know?
Triss and I talked, cleared some things up. As for Yennefer, well,
So you found her? Ha! Need to tell me all about it.
I will. Some other time. Got something a tinge more important to take care of now.
Meaning?
Yeah, where's Dandelion? Mostly that.
Where's Dandelion?
I'd like to know that myself. Maybe you could explain what the hell's going on. Not just barely returned as you saw. Expecting to come home to your hut like a boar in some cold ale, and what do you find instead? A shitestorm. Dandelion gone, the tavern chock full of bums. Haven't a clue what happened.
Let's look around. Might find something that'll put us on his trail.
Prime idea. I say we start on the ground floor. It's where he sat and wrote.
Okay. So, good to find Zoltan. Another friend. And, oh, yeah, definitely some things to investigate here.
From the finest vineyards, every last one.
A note from a grateful muse.
Reading someone else's letters.
My visage red and hot, I plunged into purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar. Your dexterous digits on my soul's yearning chords.
Alright, Dandelion. Letter from Beaumil de Rob? I haven't heard that name before. Could be interesting. Dear Viscount, once more I would like to convey my thanks for agreeing to grace my son's wedding ceremony with your song. Your presence warmed our hearts, and the sweet notes with which you serenaded us so touched my wife's mother, the Baroness Duvelet, called in some circles a cold and heartless person, that tears of tender emotion appeared in her eyes. Okay. Yeah, you know, some good Yelp reviews, yes, but that's not really what we're looking for here. Oh, what is this, though?
The faculty of Oxenford University is honored to grant Julian Alfred Pancratz, Viscount de Letenove, the title of Master of the Seven Liberal Arts.
Keep forgetting he's got that damn fool name.
Oh, that's his actual name? I don't think we knew that before. At least I didn't know that before. So he went to Oxenford. Got his degree. Several degrees, perhaps? 7 of them? I don't know if those come as a package or what. Oh, this is just the stash. Okay, that's no big deal. We, once upon a time, had a great need for that, but not so much anymore. As for this...
Annual balladry contest. Silver laurel awarded to Master Dandelion.
Prince Hereward themselves did the honours, and the feast afterwards, to celebrate the laureates. Dandelion taught a swine to yodel, and I... another time.
Oh, okay. Zoltan became a bit of a singer. Hold on a second. What? Dandelion? Slaying a beast?
Nose is too small.
Aye, and the sword's too big. By the by, is that how it's done? Killing a wyvern?
Technique's not quite right, but you gotta admit he's doing it with gusto.
How much is true? What else, though? What other interesting possessions of dandelions can we come across? This here? Letter from a female admirer. The thrust of your hypnotic gaze left my visage red and hot. The whole world suddenly set to spinning in a whirlwind of oblivion, and I plunged into purest ecstasy, imbibing its nectar, the music, the singing, you. That one brief moment, I felt as if I were the lute you so skillfully strummed, and wanted nothing more than for you to put your dexterous digits... Okay, yeah, enough of these music metaphors, please. And there are some sparkles coming over here, so that would lead me to believe that this is probably what we're looking for. Let's just do a quick check, make sure there's nothing else of interest. Given out, oh, like, say, his instrument, the lute.
This the lute he got from the elves of Dol Blathanna.
Aye. Must have been in a great rush to leave it behind.
Yeah, we should pick that up and return it to him. Also, I know you were saying that we were looking for things downstairs, but at the same time, can we learn more interesting stuff about Dandelion if we were to go upstairs? That door is already open, is why we cannot do anything with it. My guess is the answer is probably no. And I'm pretty sure we've already been here. So I'm kind of surprised that there is still stuff for us to loot. But, I mean, I guess I'll stay hydrated. I'll take the water if you're handing it out. Sure. Okay, nothing in there. Maybe we did go in here. We were just very selective with our looting for some reason. I don't know. I do remember there being this room in this back corner here. Yeah, we've definitely been here before. I know we were when we went to the stash. Just definitely also looted stuff as well. Mostly a question of, is there anything new here now that the main quest is directing us over here? This is locked. So, in that case, I think the answer is probably no. Let us head down in that case. And, check out the thing that we are actually supposed to check out. Which would appear to be this book here.
10 barrels of Toussaint Dry, 5 cases of sodden triple mead. Nothing here.
No, that's exactly what we're looking for.
Hmm?
It's
How
his
so?
planner.
Dandelion and planting? What? No, surely not.
Huh. Dandelion and planning? Good one. Besides, anything he wrote here probably had a special system. Chaos only he could ever decipher. Actually, in the past, sometimes not even that.
Give him a chance. Might
An
not be that
elaborate
bad.
code, perhaps?
Seems when he inherited this fine establishment, it came with some fine responsibilities. Bookkeeping among them. He also made a habit of noting down the times of his meetings, official and private. So, who'd he been seeing of late?
Ah, okay. Yeah, that could be helpful.
Here it is. Seems he's only been meeting women of late. The dog.
Okay. Yeah, not really interested in the romantic outings, but if there's any information out of that could help.
Not a bad idea. Dandelion's pretty loose-lipped. Might have blabbed something to a lady friend that'll put us on his trail.
That's true.
That's what I'm counting on. We should divide these somehow. Perhaps... fuck it. I'll ask the lassies in my half, you interrogate the ones in yours. Such a...
Zoltan, wait. This is in verse.
Huh?
And you figure that's unnatural because...
It is Dandelion we're talking
Wonderful.
about, right?
Meet me back here when you're done. Share our findings.
Right you are. Need to do a wee bit of tidying before I go. Cannot stomach the idea of coming back to this mess. And you'd be wise to read your bit before you scurry off. If you need anything, I'll be next door.
Okay. Yeah, let's read the planner, perhaps. Can we learn more about Zoltan? We could do here. Gave you guys the quick summary. But curious to learn more? Zoltan Shive, a dwarf, a soldier of fortune, veteran of the Battle of Brenna, and an unassailable optimist. Committed altruist, a lover of rough drinks and rougher songs, a master Gwent player, and above all, a dear and loyal friend to me and Geralt. Again, me being Dandelion. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present Zoltan Shive. We first became fast friends years ago when Geralt and I ran into Zoltan and the band he was leading at the time across war-stricken Riverdale, not to be confused with Rivendell. It proved our fate to cross paths many times after, and we eventually became inseparable companions when we both joined the Fellowship of the Ring, sticking together through good and ill. At our tale's beginning, Zoltan and I had gone into business together, running a Novigrad tavern called the Rosemary Time. Oh! Okay, so Zoltan was in on it with you, helping to run the shop? Okay. Okay. Oh, yes, that's one thing. However, we do want to also make a point of reading the book, Dandelion's Planner. So I'm assuming we're going to find that that is a quest item. And therefore, will it show up here? Letter of safe conduct, or is it this? Dandelion Planner. Okay, yes. And as we were saying before, it is in fact inverse. Rosa var Atter. Is that the name of the person? Because if that's so, then that does certainly help if we just outright know their name. That part's not cryptic. However, like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, there Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility, to swing her dwarf with agility. A charming garden-enclosed villa in Gildorf, Molly. Oh, what? Molly? Oh, this is okay. New person. Okay, we didn't just suddenly change her name from Rosa to Molly. Gotcha. Though well she knows the touch of silk and lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace. Gildorf, villa next to the morgue. Oh. Okay. It seems like those notes at the end are perhaps the places where he met these people. Vespula. Vespula? Though timid in looks, no adventure did skip her. My heart melts when she asks, ever had a Big Dipper? Far corners, laundry near the mouth of the Pontar. Marabella? Though her cries are divine when behind closed doors, standing on stage, her squawks are drowned by snores. The Bits, near Popper Square, and Elihal, figure most rare, her nature dual. Does that mean she's half elf, half human, maybe? Look deep in her eyes, or be made a fool. Tailor shop across from the tannery. Okay. I'm guessing those are locations. Yes. Yeah, talk to all those people. Character entries added for all of them. My guess is we don't have much for any of them, but that is enough to get us to level 17. So that is big. It means we do now have a skill point. Wow, 500 experience points? That is a ton. You guys were saying that the main quest is the primary way to gain experience, and well, if we get 500, then yeah, I definitely see what you're getting at there. We have a skill point now, and I think what we were saying in the past was that we were trying to... Oh, okay. We actually threw in another mutagen here. I did not remember having this one in the past. Oh, we have another slot that we should be putting something in, but we haven't been. That's kind of silly. Probably accidentally removed that at some point. But what I was going to say was that we've been making a point of upgrading precise blows, because this is the crit option for our fast attacks. And it seems like the kind of thing that the more you scale, the better it is, because crit, generally speaking, is one of those things where if you have just a little bit of it, and it's not very often for it to take effect, then it's gonna feel like you aren't doing much of anything. But if we have crit chance being 10% and 75 critical hit damage, 75% increased critical hit damage, bear in mind, that's like the equivalent of 3 oils, and so that's a ton. So I would think that in the future, we might actually want to make a point of using weapons that may not even have the highest base damage, but have increased critical strike chance, in which case, more likely to do 75% higher damage than usual. So I think we continue going this route, and then next on our list will be to further upgrade. I think it's mostly Igni that we've been talking about is probably next on the sign front. So that would probably be the next thing, and is a little bit tempting to pick up now, especially after having recently fought some enemies with Igni and seeing that, well, the damage is, at this stage, pretty lackluster in and of itself. It does give this little bit of armor melting, which I do believe... Let's see, damage dealt with Igni also permanently weakens enemy armor. Effect scales with Igni side intensity up to a maximum of 30%. Okay, so yeah, it just increases the maximum amount of armor melting and probably the base damage as well, but I think let's stick with this for now. Now that's fully upgraded, and so we cannot yet reach this next row in the melee set of skills, and for that reason probably all the more reason to start shifting gears back over to the signs. So let's do that, and then let's see what we ought to put in here, because there definitely is something we want to put in this spot. We might have actually only just unlocked it? I don't know. I would think... No, we absolutely had this before. Absolutely had it before. We definitely just accidentally removed it at some point. What are we missing right now? We have this in. Oh, it's all of the the highlighted stuff are things that we have in right now. Is that the case? I think so. We have all of you. We don't currently have the heavy or the strong attack skill in there, but we are basically never using that at all. But don't necessarily think that's a big loss. And then, oh, it might have been strong back at one point, which in theory means we could add another 60 maximum weight. We did just upgrade our saddlebags recently, and if we were to throw this on, we would be nowhere near our maximum weight. We could get way more aggressive with picking up items. I mean, however, that just, at least short term, doesn't really seem necessary. Would we like to just have 500 extra HP? It's maybe not a bad idea. What was this when upgrade here? It's the Explodey Shield. Pushes opponents back and deals damage when it breaks. Chance for knockdown. It seemed like, I remember from when we had this, yes, it was noticeable, the little bit of knockback made it so that people couldn't quite as easily like stun us, because they couldn't just wail on us nonstop. But it seemed like the damage reflection part didn't appear to be all that much. What we might have done was perhaps try to mix things up a little bit with the location of the skills to maximize the effectiveness of these mutagens is what I'm thinking might have happened. Like, theoretically speaking, would it be preferable to change the Igni Melt armor, put it over here, and increase the intensity, side intensity bonus coming from these mutagens here, and then put in the muscle memory on this spot here, and would that still boost this guy more? I think it would. So I think that is probably what we do. Want to optimize the locations a little bit more. So we do that, yeah, and then we have a little bit more side intensity. And rather than being 5% boosted attack power, if we do this here, it goes up to 10. Okay, yeah. And what? Hold on. What happened? What happened here? Oh, was that was previously where we had that one, wasn't it? Okay. We actually want to put this in here. There we go. Now we have everything. Oh, and tell you what, no. Better still, get out of there. Put you in that spot. Further improve the attack power. And 10% more attack power, that's not bad at all. That's pretty significant. And again, it's like, to use the oils as a comparison, it's not quite as much as an oil. But it's the equivalent of a sword upgrade, I would think, in many cases. Okay, so now we are looking to talk to other people like Vezpula, all the women that Dandelion was talking to. So, or we can talk to Zoltan next. Well, I didn't realize we still had to do that, but I suppose he's right here, so we could just make a point of doing that. Thought the whole idea was to check back in with him once we had spoken to everyone else.
Still here? Looking for something?
Just checking to see that everything's in place. Buggers might have hauled something off for pawning.
Actually, glad you're still here. Wanted to ask you about someone.
Did we? Oh, I suppose we could ask him about everyone if we really wanted to. Not sure what additional information we're going to get out of him, because we have not yet looked at their character descriptions.
Though well she knows the touch of silken lace, she shuns not straw when gripped in lust's embrace.
Molly keeps things tidy for the Baroness Lavalette.
A baroness
Lavalette?
with a region he settled for a chambermaid.
Recognize that name.
Dandelion's not
Witcher
one
2?
to judge folk by their station. You know that. Like he says, in the alcove, we're all equals.
Yeah. Guess a true poet observes life in all its aspects, examines it from all perspectives.
Okay. I'm sure we're
If I
going to
didn't
go
know
down
him
the list.
better, I'd say he was jealous about this Marabella.
Oh, I doubt it. Former pupil. And well, the tales he told me about her.
Doubt I want to hear them.
Probably better off not. Things between them took a turn for the strange at some point.
Oh?
Meaning?
She had him wearing mummers' costumes. Took to calling him Christian, referring to herself as Anastasia.
Huh. Truly perverse.
He didn't ken half of it. Called him a stallion once. That's the fool took it as a compliment. Till she pulled a bit in the reins into her cupboard. Poor bastard fled out the window.
Okay. Let's carry on then.
Name rings a bell. She threw his knickers out the window.
That's her.
Hollered something about him being a scoundrel with a voice like a consumptive pheasant.
That's her.
Threw flower pots at him.
Guess soul flames never die.
Okay, apparently Geralt is familiar with that person. Maybe we met this person back in The Witcher 1 or The Witcher 2, but I don't recall.
Like a rose abashed of its crimson hue, fair Rosa would sink into humor's blue. She shunned her lessons in civility to swing her dwarf with agility. Dwarf. Never suspected he'd be so humble.
Dwarfs what Rosa var Atre named her Guihir. Well chosen, eh?
Her sword?
Right. But Varatra? Her dad happened to be the Nilfgaardian ambassador?
He is. You know him?
Wouldn't say that. Had a brief conversation with him at the palace in Vizima.
Yeah, that name did sound a
you've
little
good notion
familiar.
of the kind of bloke he is. Commissioned Dandelion to tutor Rosa and her sister in the art of rhetoric. But we Rosa preferred swordplay.
How dare she reject the great bard in favor of a common swordmaster?
Yeah, come
More
on.
than one, it seems.
Who dares turn down
Week on
Dandelion?
week, we get fresh gossip about her thrashing another instructor. So bad he resigns. Word has it her dad's now looking to hire her next victim. I mean, instructor.
Okay. As for this person?
A figure most rare, her nature dual. Look deep in her eyes or be made a fool. Well, well, seems fascinated with this one.
Not without reason. Never been much for elven women myself, but this one's exceptional. Dare say Francesca Finderbeard be jealous.
You want to take this one then?
Nah, you can have her.
Why?
See,
A bit of a history
beauty's
between
like
you
a
two?
young Beauclair wine, whereas I prefer vodka straight up.
Okay. Strange metaphor, but sure.
Well, know about all I wanted to know. Thanks for your help.
Okay. So, I don't know to what extent that helped us. I don't know to what extent we may feel the need to check out these people on the character screen. Yeah, but Louisa Lavalette, that name definitely does ring a bell. It is from The Witcher 2, and we had a bit of a tussle with that family, so, you know, that name has me a little bit concerned. Baroness Maria Louisa Lavalette was the talk of Temeria in her time. The noblewoman had been King Foltest's mistress. Ah, it was actually Foltest's mistress. I'd assumed this was likely to be one of her children, but no, okay. I guess, how much time has passed between Witcher 2 and Witcher 3? Is it only 6 months? I mean, that's what Triss and Geralt kept on referring to as 6 months, so in which case, I guess, not much time has passed. So, makes sense. Even bore him 2 illegitimate children. This caused quite the scandal, and prompted several notable families to take up arms in revolt, only to be bloodily crushed by the king's forces, who took Lavalette Castle during a hard-fought siege, which we may or may not have taken part in. Okay. Zoltan. Again, we read this recently, so I'm not sure why it's starred, because I don't think I saw anything new there. Have we read Dandelion's entry yet? Of course, this would be him writing about himself, and so that is an interesting prospect. Curious how he took it on. I would wager anyone that you, dear reader, are a person of culture and taste, and therefore already familiar with me, Dandelion, and the role I am to play in the following tale. Nevertheless, allow me to sketch a few lines by way of self-portrait, for the sake of thoroughness, and in the event you have spent much of the last half-century in some dark corner where the light of my star has not yet to reach. Born in 1229, a talented poet and troubadour, a graduate of Oxenford Academy, a frequent performer at royal courts, an unequaled lover appreciated, and in some cases adored by ladies worldwide, a skilled negotiator, and a stirring orator. Such is the image of the bard Dandelion as painted by his friends and promoters, and also himself. This image is, of course, somewhat overbright in its coloring. I personally prefer to think of myself as a dedicated artist, in thrall to his muse, one whose work has benefited immeasurably from the fact that I was, and am, and forever will remain, a a close friend and steadfast companion to the Witcher, Geralt. Oh, thanks, Dandelion. It is his fate I chronicle in this present work, and his story which I shall sing till the end of my days. Oh, a close friend indeed. So, can we see more about the other people that we are theoretically trying to seek out? Well, I mean, maybe if they're down at the bottom, but it appears no. Only person we have is Louisa Lavalette. Is that an indication that she's more significant than the other people here? Maybe, I don't know. But we take a look at our quests here. I mean, I'm not really sure it matters which order which we talk to these people, but we can see where they lead us, because how far away are they? Oh, they're actually... Okay, for a second I was thinking that they might not all be in Novigrad. Thought we might need to cross the 7 seas to find them. Okay, I think we have seen this person before, because I do remember there was a shopkeeper in this area of town that was selling some masks that had a quest indicator on them. And I figured that that meant we'd be talking to them at some point later on, and this might be that time. So, this is a fast travel location right here. Could perhaps beam ourselves up, expedite that process. However, this is actually the closest one, so not far away. Let's head over here, and of course we have been to this part of town already, because like I said, we've spoken to some people here. Oh.
I will get you every last copper, with interest. Give me a week, please.
Horson's no banker. He's an honest man. You pay on time, you get protection. You don't pay...
Oh.
Help!
Don't do
What
that.
you hollering for, stupid wench? What are you hoping for? A knight in shining armour?
Close enough.
Someone call her name?
Keep out of this, greyhead, not your concern.
You sure about that? Could pay what she owes, which might be the peaceful way to resolve this. Or we could take things a little more directly into our hands. The violent approach. Now, these guys are affiliated with one of the gangs, it seems, and therefore, might we make enemies with said gang if we were to fight them? Possibly. Is that going to be something that is totally unavoidable? Perhaps. So in some regards, I feel like we're likely to make enemies with these guys at some point, and maybe if that's the case, then why not now? However, let's try peace. Let's give it a shot. Just in case. We'll play it safe. We have a fair amount of coins right now. So not super concerned about that.
Vespula's to pay or be taught a lesson.
Already given her a verbal reprimand. Now go, before I teach you a lesson.
That can be enough for them to leave.
Gold's gold.
Seems like the answer is yes.
Oh, thank you. To think there are men who'll help a stranger out of the kindness of their hearts.
Not entirely out of kindness, and you're not entirely a stranger.
What do
Say
you...
what?
Oh, I know you.
Do you?
You were that witcher took Dandelion out whoring. Gerald, right?
Close enough, but sure. Yeah, what? Excuse me? More importantly, though, Dandelion is the reason why we're here right now.
Not Gerald. Geralt.
Oh. Dreadful sorry.
What do you think?
Are
Where
you,
could
though?
Dandelion be?
Probably out whoring. That horse pheasant. That lying scoundrel.
Ouch. What did he do to get your goat?
Same thing as ever. Prize bullshitter came back, saying it was till death do we part this time. And no more than a week passed before I spotted him in Harbourside, scrolling with some trollop on his arm.
Yeah,
It was the last
kind of sounds
straw.
like Dandelion.
All those questions about the washerwomen at the bathhouse, then this. I beat him black and blue and threw him out on his ear.
Dandelion asked about... Oh, I suppose that is your occupation? He asked about
Dandelion
other
asked
people
you
as
about
well?
other washerwomen? Not terribly subtle even for him.
Maybe he likes some sudsy.
Maybe. But what did he ask about, exactly?
Oh, this and that, really. What's it like at the bathhouse? Have I got any friends there? What are their working hours? I don't know. Maybe he's looking to hire one for his tavern. Maybe I got all in a huff for no reason.
Maybe, but also maybe not. Let's be honest, this is Dandelion we're talking about.
Was with in the harbor. Who was she?
Claimed she was his niece from Covere. Ha! Horvere, more likely. Corset so tight her eyes were popping out her head. His too, come to think of it. An artist or a whore. Doesn't much matter as they're one in the same.
Might be one of the other people we're looking for, though.
Thanks for your help. Listen,
anything else?
When I find Dandelion, anything I should tell him?
Oh,
No. I mean, tell him he's a two-faced snake, but it would be nice if he dropped by.
Oh. You probably don't want him to, drop by, because he's just going to proceed to do exactly the same thing again. So yeah, you were saying you're a washer, and there are more tubs over there, so that does make some sense. There's not the person who I thought we were going to be running into, though. I thought maybe it's going to be this person over here. There was another one. That person I was talking about earlier. Someone who was selling some stuff. But maybe it's an entirely different person. Now, of course, if we're going to have to shell out 200 coins every time we run into one of these people, then that's going to start to add up pretty quickly. You're actually inside here. So I'd rather not make a habit of that. But this is the person I was thinking of, yes.
I'm a friend of Dandelion's, looking for Elial.
You've come to the right spot. How might I be of service? Need something shortened? Patch your trousers, darn your socks.
You Elial?
Yes. Now pick your jaw up off the floor.
Sorry, I thought Elial was one of Dandelion's girlfriends.
Oh, so it's that. Wait here.
Excuse me? Oh.
Any better?
So you're...
Elial.
Did you and Dandelion... how did you two meet?
I met him one
What's
night
up,
in a
Pete?
tavern. He was blind drunk.
No, Robo Lids will not be sorely missed. I can say that with confidence. Hopefully the mic is holding up here. Of course, hard for me to tell at this point in time because I can't really listen back to me in the middle of the stream, but I did do a fair bit of tests before we started things up, and it sounded like things were back to normal, so that is a huge relief. Very grateful for that, and now we are going and doing some main quest stuff because it's been a long time since we last did that. That seemed like a fitting way to celebrate of sorts. And now we're tracking down everyone that Dandelion has had some kind of relationship with, because we're trying to track down Dandelion. Met him one night in a tavern. He was blind drunk. Yeah, not sure we want to know the rest. That sounds like something that's maybe best left between you two.
Don't think
None of
I
our
wanna
business.
know what happened next.
Oh, stop. He wasn't so drunk as not to figure it out. Besides, men don't interest me. I told him that from the start. Luckily, Dandelion's an open-minded fellow. We had a lovely evening. He became a loyal customer afterwards.
Okay. Yes, but more information about Dandelion.
Dandelion visit your shop often?
I tried many times to talk him into a decent doublet. Sadly, he'd only come in to get a button rear fixed or a hole patched.
When did you last see him?
Some time ago. He brought in one of Zoltan's jerkins, insisted I sew on an extra pocket. Odd as requests go, I had the distinct feeling he'd actually come to talk.
Okay. Sure. Not really sure what we should read into that, but, okay.
What did you and Dandelion talk about? He asked about anything in particular?
Let me think. Had an ordinary chat, really. Although, indeed, he did keep asking about Kalkstein.
Oh!
If Dandelion
Now that's
and
a
I hadn't
throwback
laid our
name.
cards on the table at the start, I might have suspected he had a history with the alchemist. He spoke like a lovesick beau. In fact, he desperately wished to meet with him.
Kalkstein's in Novigrad? Wouldn't mind seeing him myself.
You're too late, I fear. The witch hunters nabbed him recently, burned him at the stake in Hierarch Square.
Oh!
But as he perished, the goings-on impressive. Fiery beasts circled his pyre, then rose into the sky and exploded to form letters.
Really?
Okay.
What did they spell?
Radovid sucks flaccid cock.
I know this is not
Yeah,
my
it
business,
seems like, you know, the
but
type of
why
thing that
do you-
Kalkstein might do,
Why do I
but
dress up? As a child,
Name back from
I
Witcher
dreamt of
1.
becoming a Doppler when I grew
Would've been
up.
nice to
I
catch him,
became
though.
a tailor instead. Discovered clothing. Costumes can express all the complexities of one's personality. I'm a Redanian countess one day, a dockside thug the next. That is true freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Have you never thought to become someone else? Even for a moment? Must be horribly boring being a witcher all the time.
I managed to stay interested.
eh, we have a lot of stuff to do. Keeps us occupied, at least.
Thanks for your help, and nice to meet you.
I can help with much more. If you need new trousers or a vest, you know where to find me.
Alright. So, at the very least, we didn't have to shell out 200 coins for this person.
Boss you around.